Um, um, I was in Michener Centre in Red Deer for 20 years. I went to Michener Centre when I was 15 years old, but I'll never forget. I have a twin brother, and when he found out that I was going to Michener Centre, he felt pretty bad about it. One day, I remember, school nurse, she come, and my twin brother said, well, you know, you better have her home before my mom comes, and be sure you do. And then I went to see this doctor, and I don't know, I can't remember what he said, but I ended up in Michener Centre anyhow. My twin brother asked his teacher for, could he have a day off from school. My sister's leaving to go to Red Deer, and I'm just going to go see. I'm going to go with her and see where she's going. And when I got there, I went into a brick building with my family. They went into a room by themselves. I couldn't go in with them, so I don't know what they were discussing. And my mom, she sort of spoke broken English, so one of my older brothers had to go in and explain to her what was going on, but I stayed out, and there was this great big brick building, and that's when I said goodbye to my family for a whole year. We could not see family for a whole year. We couldn't even come home for Christmas. We had to be there for Christmas and go home to family on Boxing Day for New Year's, and that was it. But they weren't allowed for Christmas. And that's where I said goodbye to them. And then I went to schoolgirls ward, and I went to school for 3 years, and when I reached the age of 18, and it was Easter time, and they said I couldn't learn anymore, so I had to go out. They said I couldn't learn no more, and so I thought, well, now what am I going to do? I was really scared, but I did what they wanted, and I worked really hard, and other people worked hard too. We worked harder than the staff did. We never got paid nothing. There was a ward where there were bed patients, and they had to be fed. And there was one girl that was in bed, and she was quite difficult to feed. They wrapped her up in a sheet, in a bed sheet. But these two staff, they didn't do that. And I'm feeding one person next to her, and there's two of them trying to make her eat. She would not eat for them, and they slapped her till she cried and left big red finger marks. And that girl at that time must have been maybe 13, 14 years old, but she had red finger marks on her body, and I kind of thought, I'm going to do something. But you had to be very careful what you said and how you put things. They either put us in a corner or either sent us to a quiet room with a little window and a door locked. You slept on a mattress, and that was it. That was called punishment. You had to be very careful what you said and done. It wasn't, for me, it wasn't an easy life, but I managed. And when the little kids come in, oh, I thought, I can imagine what those little kids are going to go through. It was.
And Tedda, did you ever think of having your own family, having children, or?
I can't. That's all I say. I'm not able to for a certain circumstance. For people like myself and others, we didn't really deserve to go there. We shouldn't have been there in the first place.